In Matthew 27:51, it talks about the veil that divided in the temple the Holy of Holies from the temple, the main court. Only the high priest could go through that. And the high priest could only go through it once a year. It says, when Jesus died on the cross, suddenly the curtain of the sanctuary was split in two, from top to bottom. It was split from top to bottom to show that God split it, not man. And then the footnote here on the bottom, the Holman's Bible I'm reading, says Jesus' death at 3 p.m. coincided with the afternoon sacrifice. Thus the priests were present in the temple. If they weren't present, no one would have known that it got torn. They wouldn't know how it got torn. That's how the priests knew when it got torn, because they saw with their own eyes. To observe the rending of the curtain of the sanctuary separated the Holy of Holies from the rest of the temple. According to the Mishnah, the Jewish word there, so don't hold me to it, it was 60 feet long, 30 feet wide, and as thick as a man's palm. Now here's the thing. So it was 60 by 30 and as thick as a palm. But it says it was so heavy that it took 300 men to lift it when it was wet. That's a heavy thing. Heavy, huge veil. It's just a giant curtain. That it split in two from top to bottom shows that it was torn by God. This signified that Jesus' death granted sinners new access to God. Hebrews 6:19-20. And then 10:19-20. But this is what I'm presenting. I'm not talking about what the veil was, what it did, or anything. My question is, how did the high priest get from outside to inside? That's my question. That's my biblical misconception for this. How did the high priest get from outside the Holy of Holies to inside the Holy of Holies if the veil didn't have a split in it already? It was one solid curtain, 60 feet by 30 feet, and as thick as my hand. I mean, we don't care what it was. If it was 60 feet by 30 feet and a piece of paper. The fact is, there was no split in it before. There was no division. How did the priest get from one side to the other? He didn't pick it up and go underneath. I'm just going to leave you with that. How did the priest get through the curtain? And again, I'll go into, in another video I have, I'm going to talk more about what the veil is, the Holy of Holies, and all that. But this is just for the biblical misconception. How did the priest get from one side of the curtain to the other before God tore it in half? Thank you.